welcome everybody to another black screen apparently. Oh, right, there we are. Alright, we're back with some F2 commentary. We're in the last race of the season, I think. And it's the USA short track. Commentating today are Boosted Mess and Everson Axolotl.
Yep, good evening everybody, welcome to the stream. Here we go then for the final race of the F2 season and the final race of the SLR season in general, I think, before we move on to 2021.
Yeah, and of course we've jumped back into the commentary booth and out of the car like we did last time around. So you might see some more normal commentary today. It's looking a bit cloudy today. Think there could be some rain?
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? That would spice things up quite a bit. We haven't had any rain for any of the more recent F2 races, so that would be quite an interesting development.
Of course,
short
it's
track
already
at USA today, so
yeah,
lots of corners, lots of action. Should be quite frantic.
Should be very, very spicy already, even if it doesn't rain. But yeah, as you said, we're on the short track today, so we're cutting off after the S's, going into the last sector pretty much here. Lots of turns still on this track. There's a lot of straight being cut off from the track. And of course we're doing 100% today, so get ready for a long one. So maybe even the sprint race will become an endurance race today. Unlike usually when in the sprint race we only have around 11 laps, and as soon as we have a safety car, half of the race is gone.
Yeah, this is true actually, so hopefully we get a bit more racing action than what we would normally get then, as Icon comes over the line then and takes pole. It's going to be Joel and Pretorius in second and third, and McKender is disqualified. Meppel didn't actually make the track. I'm not sure if he had a quali ban or crashed.
He did have a quali ban.
So he'll start from the back of the grid.
Right, so Azaken in P1 and Joel and Pretorius in the dams in P2 and 3. They're looking pretty good now for challenging the championship again. They lost a lot of points in the last few races. For example, because Pretorius kept disconnecting during the races, and we do have their opponents, the BWT cars, in P6, and of course McKender losing his time there probably went off track somewhere. So yeah, looking pretty good for Joel and Pretorius. We have Legend in P4. I think he jumped in the car as a reserve today, and Futuristic in P5.
Yeah, so an interesting qualifying already there. Then normally we have the dams and the BWT guys usually right at the front. They're usually fighting for P1 through to 4. Looks like the dams are going to get a bit of a jump today. It'd be interesting to see if the BWT lads can close the gap at all. Of course, McKender's going to be fighting through from the back of the grid as well, so he'll be fighting against other drivers that are slightly slower than he is, so he's going to have a bit of traffic to deal with.
Yeah, I have been told by, he's called Mippo now, he used to be Classic Boy, that he's going to do a last to first challenge, so let's watch out for that as well. But yeah, I do believe that, I believe that McKender will be the one mostly charging through the field at the start of the race, because he does have the pace normally. Of course, people don't practice F2 as much as they do the F1 races on average, I'd say. But still, McKender usually one of the faster guys, even on a new track. Yeah, so that could actually be quite interesting today. The drivers aren't going to be as used to the short layout, so we might even see somebody crash into the cones. We'll have to see.
Well, Viking then leads us off on our formation lap then, hardest lap of the race. Let's hope everybody makes it round in one piece then. It's going to be 31 laps for this feature race, so a little bit longer than what we're used to. It looks like quite a quick formation lap, it has to be said. There's already quite a gap between Zykin and Joel and Pretorius, so...
Yeah, those guys at the front are definitely going quick. The guys behind definitely a lot slower through the S's. And it's going to be a short formation lap either way, of course, because it's such a short track. Tire strategy is looking very interesting here. We have... I think it might actually be an even split. Yeah, we have 6 guys on the mediums and we have 6 guys on the super softs. So it is looking quite dry now, so probably weather not playing into the equation too much. But yeah, that's very interesting split here. Zaken from pole starting from the mediums. Legend in P4 also.
I think it's going to be a one-stop strategy, I believe, today in the feature race here. So yeah, some guys opting for the medium to go long in the first stint. That'll be interesting to see if Zyken can hold off Joel and Pretorius then. Interesting to see. Actually, interesting to see both the Dams and the BWT guys on the same strategies. You would have thought, if especially with the Dams boys being so close to each other, maybe a split strategy would be better. Sorry, opposite strategy would be better. But yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I think Mikander is mainly just trying to charge through the field at the start of the race. He can't afford to lose too much time behind all those other guys. Of course, it's really easy to lose a lot of time here if you're stuck behind people, because unlike the normal Kota layout, you don't have that long back straight to overtake people on.
Only the one DRS straight here today then. That'll be on the start-finish straight.
Right, and we do have everybody lining up on that start-finish straight.
So here we go then. This will be the second to last race of the season. The lights are starting to come on now. 3, 4, and 5 lights. The traditional little Codemasters pause. And we are underway. Looks like a clean start from everybody. Joel's had a monstrous start there. Immediately passed Zykan already into the first corner. Zykan's actually getting swallowed up by Pretorius as well. We've got Futuristic sends it down the inside too. So he's managed to get himself up into third. A bit of chaos in the back there. Makender's managed to clear 3 positions already. And yeah, another tall guy's had a bit of an incident there. Looks like Scotto's gone a bit wide there in the first corner as well. So we look down towards the S's. Everybody making it through cleanly still here.
Makander up into P8, so an amazing start from him as well. I think we're seeing a pretty big difference here between the mediums and the super softs, because all the guys on the mediums have dropped down quite a bit, especially Zykan, of course, from pole.
Makander making another position there as well, so he's up into 7th now already. In 1 lap, he's already taken 4 positions so far. Big lockup as we come into this start of this twisty section now. Just keeping an eye on Joel now. Joel is motoring away here. He's almost got a second on his icon already.
And another position for Makander. Makander's gotten past Legend, who's on the mediums as well. So Makander up into P6 now. That was quick. He's right behind his teammate now. And his teammate is right on the back of Pretorius as well. So Futuristic got past Pretorius at the race start, and now Icewind is trying to take advantage of that as well.
Yeah, Futuristic and Joel, the big winners of the race start there. Makander's had an incident, has he? Oh yeah, sorry, that's a timing tower. Yeah. I'm sure that was supposed to be patched a few months ago, but it doesn't seem to have fixed anything.
I'm sure it was supposed to be, but yeah, that doesn't always have to mean anything.
Let's hope 2021 does not have the same bug. As we make our way around for the second lap now then, so DRS will be enabled on the lap after this one.
Yeah, it's looking like quite the train right now. Everybody's just calmly in that half-second window right now. Not really seeing any attacks being done. But yeah, Icewind is chasing down Pretorius while Pretorius is trying to stay on the back of Futuristic. He needs to get that position back for a good position in the race here. And Joel is of course more than 1 second away from the Zykan now, so Zykan not getting the DRS currently.
Just having a look at the position changes here then. So the 2 or 3 biggest winners then, you got Mepo managing to jump up 4 positions. Of course he started at the back of the grid here. Makander, as we saw, jumping up 5 positions. And Futuristic managing to jump 2 into the first corner of the first lap. So looking good for those 3. Yeah, head down the start-finish straight once more.
Icewind setting the fastest lap from P5, so yeah, he's very much chasing after Pretorius, but Pretorius also catching up slightly to Futuristic ahead. Zykan has actually caught up a lot to Joel there. I'm not sure how that happened.
Yeah, he has managed to close the gap there. So the top 6 now are all separated by less than a second. Of course, this is going to be the crucial lap because DRS will be enabled this time round. See if anyone's able to take advantage of that. Bit of a gap down to Legend, where we then have another train behind him with Mepo and Fox in there. Be quite a technical race, this one. I think there'll be a lot of strategy involved in it, more so than outright speed, just because there's a limit as to how many straights there are which are plausible for a pass. Yeah, most of it I think is going to just be fighting into through the S's, trying to keep it clean, trying to keep it tidy, getting good exits. And
oh, we have Mepo and Legend side by side into the long right-hander, and Legend cuts the corner and gets 3 seconds of penalty. We're seeing some more spins at the back. Oh, and he's left the session as well.
We'll see if I can get him back in again.
well, he did spin right before that happened, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there. We have the BWT cars right behind each other, and Pretorius is now launching an attack on Futuristic. He's been trying to get on the inside of Futuristic for a while now, but it hasn't been quite enough so far.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see any team orders here then, as Makendo definitely looked like he had the pace at the start of the race there. Let's see if Icewind gets stuck here too long, if he'll maybe yield that position and let Makendo have a go.
Yeah, I think that could be a good idea for them if it stays as it is right now, and another tall guy is back in the session.
Oh, and Joel picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, and Icewind's gone very wide into one of the corners there. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but Makendo's managed to slip down the inside of him now.
And they didn't lose a lot of time from that. Oh, all the time penalties are dropping now. Yeah, but they didn't lose a lot of time from that. They're still in the DRS window of Pretorius pretty easily. That might have been team orders.
Yeah, could well have been. Let's see if Makendo can take advantage of that then. He is 0.6 of a second behind Pretorius in closing, so really closing. If he gets a good run out of this last corner, he might be in a position to challenge here.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Makendo's tires are also looking a bit better, temperature-wise, because I'm not sure how it is on the short layout, but on the normal Kota track in F1
yellow flag.
Yep, that's
yellow
Fox.
flag, that's in the last corner, yeah.
I'm not sure if there was a collision, because I think Little Wetzel's was pretty close to that as well, but yeah, a bit of an incident there in the last corner. What was it? What was I saying? I've completely forgotten. Oh yeah, tire temperatures. So tire temperatures can be pretty bad on the F1 cars around the normal layout. I'm not sure how the F2 cars behave with tire temperatures. But yeah, that could be an issue here as well if Icewind has been in the right on the back of Pretorius for a few laps now, that Makendo's tires are just looking that bit better. And we see Pretorius locking up as well. So yeah, I'm sure he's not too happy to be in traffic right now.
The closest battle on the track then at the minute is Makendo and Pretorius for position 4 right now. Looks like Futuristic managing to hang on to the back of Zykin there, so he may be in a position to challenge later in the race. But Zykin dropping quite significantly to Joel. He's managed to build a 1.6 second lead now. It's almost up to 1.8 just about.
Yeah, was that just in the last lap? Did he gain a full second in this lap now?
Joel is gaining a hell of a lot of time. He's almost up to 2 seconds now. Joel is flying here. Of course, he is on the super softs right now, so we would expect him to be averaging a quicker pace. And as Zykin, as Makendo gets very close to the back of Pretorius there, just about manages to stop in time.
Yeah, it's really just Zykin's DRS train here. Zykin pulling everybody with him at the moment, and nobody behind him can really overtake each other because they all both have the DRS, and they don't have the fuel modes or the ERS modes available, of course, in these F2 cars. Legend gets... Everybody's getting penalties here.
This race seemingly actually playing well into Zykin's hands. And I mean, if you take Joel out of the equation at the minute, who's too far ahead, if Zykin manages to keep everybody else behind him long enough that their tyres start to degrade and they need to pit, then that puts him in a really good position to swap onto the super softs later in the race.
Oh, Pretorius is launching
possibly challenge back.
Pretorius on the outside of Futuristic here. Oh, Makendo really struggling with the dirty air here. I think he was getting a lot of wheel spin, almost lots of oversteer there into long.
Oh, and Icewind pits. Icewind the first of the drivers to pit.
Interesting. Okay, so that is a bit of a strategy split there. Those two guys were behind each other, and probably Icewind struggling a bit there at the back of this train. So he decided to just go into the pits early and perhaps get an undercut here on the other guys.
Oh,
Pretorius really struggling! Oh!
Makendo's on the inside of him now. They're still side by side now. It looks like Pretorius.
And he's got the position back, yeah.
But Makendo's not done yet. He looked like he was having another go there.
Oh. Yeah, they're definitely fighting here. Yeah, so that was almost the overtake there for Makendo, but not quite enough. Maybe it was even a confidence thing. I think he would have been a bit surprised to get past there, and then getting out of turn 1, not quite getting the power down quickly enough, and Pretorius taking that position back.
Enter is still all over the back of Pretorius, so he might have another chance to launch an attack on the start-finish straight here if there's still life left in those tyres. Icewind's come back out on track now, he's on mediums.
Yeah, and he's crucially got out on track ahead of Scorto, who was in P11 before, is still in P11 and Icewind now without any traffic for the next 11 seconds. Ahead of him on track.
So here we go, then Pretorius is going to come into the pits then. That was a very late jump in there. So that's going to release Futuristic and Makender now.
Yeah, Makender of course still getting the DRS on this straight here, despite Pretorius pitting.
It looks like Joel's starting to struggle with his tyres now as well. That gap's dropped back down to second.
Oh yeah, it has, you're right,
So,
yeah.
I think he'll be struggling with tyre wear then, as we see with a lot of the super soft runners now pitting. So Pretorius pitting now could mean that Joel is going to pit on the next lap then?
I'm gonna watch Icewind now because I want to see where Pretorius gets out. Pretorius now leaving the pits, he's accelerating, and Icewind is on the straight, gaining speed right now, but I think Pretorius has managed to stay ahead for now. Oh, they're going to be fighting into turn 1. Almost, but Icewind is still behind.
Bit of a lock up there from Icewind, but yeah, looking good for a battle then shortly.
Zaken very much catching up to the back of Joel now. I think Joel has just decided to wait that extra lap for Pretorius to pit without double stacking. So I think we might be seeing Joel come in now.
Yeah, he looks like he's struggling.
Oh, and there's yellow flags again. I think it's Fox. And Legend takes another penalty. So yeah, Joel is pulling into the pits now, and Zaken has been released into what is now P1. Futuristic also pitting. Makender staying out for now. Interesting.
Yeah, unusual choice there from Makender. It does look like he's been mighty quick on these tyres as well. And
yeah, and I think he's
the aggressive nature of driving. You'd think he's would have worn them out by now.
I think he's managed the tires quite well actually, and we did see the overcut working with Pretorius gaining a bit of time on Icewind actually, despite being in traffic. So maybe it's just a good idea to stay out that bit longer and to have some less degraded mediums at the end of the race. Oh, and Makender very much catching up to the back of Zaken here. Interesting. So Makender very much pushing.
Joel rejoin.
Oh, now everybody from P3 to P7 has time penalties, and behind them no penalties so far. Oh, Futuristic. Yeah, half a second ahead of Pretorius, who's now half a second ahead of Icewind. If those guys battle a bit more, then this might just work out for Makender.
Interesting to see how Zaken goes then, if he can hold off the charge from Makender then at this stage. It'll be crucial if you can just keep behind him for another lap or two. I would expect Makender to be pitting very, very soon, but the...
oh, Futuristic getting out of shape! Yeah, Futuristic getting a pretty heavy lockup there, and Pretorius taking advantage right away, but they're still side by side. Futuristic taking the inside through this corner now. Futuristic is on the better line, it seems, but now Pretorius can accelerate a bit better. Oh, and I think he made the move stick. Yeah, Icewind's having a look as well. Potentially trying to get past Futuristic as well, but now Pretorius has the position. But now it's Futuristic getting the DRS on the straight, so it might just be the chance to get that move back onto Pretorius here.
DRS and a double slipstream for Icewind now coming down the start-finish straight.
Futuristic is gaining on Pretorius. Seems like the DRS here isn't quite that strong. We're not seeing a lot of easy overtakes on the straight. Icewind taking the outside around Futuristic. Oh, and we see Makender taking the lead here. So yeah, he's really pushing. And he's managed to make it stick as well. So yeah, Makender out into the lead, and he's going to keep pushing.
He's sliding so much, so many lockups, so many sideways movements.
But
those
he's still
must
quick.
Be screaming.
He's still going extremely quickly. Futuristic,
you have to assume he's going to stay out now and try and pull a bit of time now in the next lap before pitting. Otherwise, the move would have made no sense.
Mippo getting another 3-second penalty as well. But
yeah,
Futuristic is slowly falling out. Well, that's an interesting pit stop. Perhaps there's a wing change involved, I think. What was I gonna say? Futuristic is now dropped out of the DRS of Pretorius. Pretorius might have actually wanted to keep him in the DRS because now that might release Icewind to attack Futuristic. But yeah, Icewind getting a bit out of shape there in the last two corners, losing a bit of time, and that might not be enough to make a move anymore.
He's gonna have to make that climb back up through the S's and have another go on the next lap. Just trying to keep one eye on his Zaken here. He is losing time through the corners, but in the straights he just seems to be quite a bit quicker than Makender. Every time he catches on a straight, when you get to the twisty sections he loses time again. Which is interesting, actually, with Makenda being on tyres, it must be incredibly worn right now that he's able to corner so much quicker.
Oh, Icewind getting very wide here, almost onto the sand.
Almost. Oh, we've got Meppo and Legend are having a nice little fight here as well. Meppo's just 3/10 of a second behind, yeah.
Those guys have been very close for a while now. They've been within a second for a good 5 laps now, but now it's getting closer and closer, I think.
And, and there's a bit of a wiggle from Legend there. That's going to allow Meppo to close right up on him.
Yeah, they both had a bit of a wiggle there. It seems like they kind of cancel out, and Meppo not quite gaining enough to make a move here, I think. Yeah, he's hanging on to the back of Legend for now. Somebody who has been gaining is Icewind in the last 2 corners. He's caught back up to within half a second of Futuristic. And that's going to be quite close now. On the straight, he's gaining and gaining.
Getting close. I don't think it's going to be close enough on this this occasion.
Yeah, he would have had to dive down the inside quite a bit there. But we'll have to see if he can get a bit closer for the next one, and then possibly that'll be a move. Zaken now catching up to Makenda a bit again as he loses the time that he just gained. So yeah, those two pretty evenly matched actually. They were pretty evenly matched before the overtake, and they're still pretty evenly matched now. I'm thinking this could potentially be a 2-stop for most of these guys, but Makenda is just trying to make the tires
the yellow
last for
flag.
long enough.
The yellow flag in sector 2 there. That's who's that?
I think that's another tall guy. Yeah, that's another tall guy having another spin here in the infield.
There's no damage, I don't think, so he should be okay. Looks like he's got away with it. He's on those fresh super softs now.
Meppo launching an attack on Legend. He's taking the inside line here. And is there a switchback? No, Legend not quite. Yep, Legend has to stay behind now through the S's because it's really hard to overtake here.
Brave move into that first corner there, and another tall guy DNFing from the session here.
Icewind is getting a bit closer to Futuristic. He was about half a tenth closer this time around, but still not enough to make an overtake happen. I think he's just hoping for Futuristic to make a mistake out of the last turn right now.
A quick look back at the Legend Meppo battle as Legend is actually managing to keep up with him here, so this fight isn't over just yet.
Oh, Icewind is right on the back of Futuristic. He really wants to get past. He could be going quicker than Futuristic, I'm pretty sure. And he needs to chase after Pretorius.
There's a pit from the lead. Makenda is pitting now from his super soft, so he'll be switching onto the medium tyre. It's going to be interesting to see where he comes out then. Ideally, he needs to come out ahead of the Joel Pretorius Futuristic bunch.
I don't think he'll be ahead of Joel, but he could still be ahead of Pretorius, Futuristic, and Icewind. We'll have to see how the overcut worked out for him here.
He's making his way down
it's
the
looking
pit
pretty
lane
good
now
yeah.
then. So yeah, Joel's only just coming around the final corner now.
Oh, and Icewind ever so closer to Futuristic now. Legend has overtaken Meppo again through the S's.
Makenda's coming out of the pit lane. This is going to be really, really close. Joel is coming past on the outside of him now as we speak. I think Makenda is going to make it work.
Oh, he's made
Joel
it stick.
Right
yeah,
he's done it. He's jumped him.
That's incredible. And he's going to be on fresher tires now. Yeah, he's done the overcut. I think he stayed out like 4 or 5 laps longer. That's quite impressive.
Maybe a cautious lap here to begin with, just so those tyres are fully up to temperature again. So Joel is hounding him in the meantime, but yeah, what a call. That was an incredible strategy call there from Makenda.
Oh, Joel having a look down the inside. He wants to get back past, but Makenda now on fresh tyres, and he has the pace as well.
Couple of lockups there from Makenda. That's not going to be helping his situation any.
Yeah, I think his tires are a bit cold still, and he's going to have to get used to the mediums now, while the others have been driving on their tires for a while. Oh, also very close, Icewind on the back of Futuristic again.
This is a battle that seems to have been raging on for quite a few laps now. It'll be interesting to see if Icewind can make the move this time around.
Meanwhile, Meppo's still not quite able to get that position back from Legend on the main straight.
Pretorius, in the meantime, has kind of just been left on his own in clean air, so he's just been able to bang in laps.
Futuristic almost spinning. He just managed to catch the car, but that of course releases Icewind, and Icewind going to be chasing after Pretorius now, just as you were saying he was left on his own, so he's going to have to push now as well to stay away from Icewind. And Joel is dropping back for McKender now. He's lost a few tenths over the last lap.
Close to battle on track now is still the Mepo Legend battle. This is for second position currently. Of course, they are running out of position. The top 4 yet to pit still. In fact, the top 4 and Scorto yet to pit. They're still on their original mediums from the start of this race.
I'm taking a quick look at the penalties here. It's Legend and Mippo, both of those guys are on 12 seconds, so they're going to lose a lot of positions at the end of the race if the gaps are tight, but they're not going to lose positions to each other as it looks so far. Then Luke Wetzels is on 3 seconds, so is Joel and Icewind. Pretorius and McKenna both have kept it clean without any penalties.
Box just adds another 3 to his tally.
So Futuristic on 6 seconds and Fox at the back on 9 seconds right now.
I think it's this a combination of the tail end of the S's and then the sort of cut through on this short track. There is a chicane in there, and it looks incredibly easy to just jump over.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are getting warnings here in the chicane because it's a very tight chicane and it's very easy to gain time there as well by just cutting across. So it's I'm sure they think they can gain a lot of time there if they get a bit closer to the edge, but sometimes they just make it past the edge and get a penalty instead.
Well, how long do we think then these tyres are going to last, these mediums?
That's really a very interesting question.
There'll be another pit stop maybe around sort of, I don't know, lap 24 maybe, 23, 24, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'd say lap 22, 23 could be possible. Especially from the guys who pitted first, I think. Let me take a quick look. So Icewind has been on his tires now for 8 laps. That means he did 9 laps on the... No, he also did 8 laps on the super softs. Yeah, could be potentially pit stop around lap 23 if you want to do a different strategy, but it's... I think they want to make the one stop happen because you lose a lot of time compared to the other guys if you do an extra pit stop on these short tracks.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't take much to suddenly be a lap down and then you're yielding to the blue flags all the time, which of course just costs you more time. And then of course if we have a safety car as well, unable to overtake that in this game.
McKender quietly catching up to the back of Luke Wetzels here. He's gotten very close over the last few laps and he's now within the DRS range as well, so I think we might see an overtake there soon unless the medium runners are going to pit soon. That is of course still a possibility.
He has built himself a comfortable 2-second gap to Joel as well, of course. As Futuristic now picks up the 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, I think that's also adding to a penalty. I think he had 6 seconds and should now be on 9 seconds, so that's going to hurt him quite a bit.
He's been drivers then without penalties.
Yeah, not a lot of drivers without penalties, and it's Azek, McKender, Pretorius, some of the top guys in this F2 league, of course. And then we have Scorto in P10 also keeping it very clean. So good job.
We're going to see a pass here now. McKender looking like he was going to have a go into the final corner here. Decides not to, but does get a really good run out of it.
Yeah, and he's passed already at the start. Look, Wetzel's trying to get that slipstream, but yeah, it's not going to be enough. McKender has the DRS and he got a battle launch as well. Oh, and there's a spin. Is it Scorto? It's Scorto. He's about to be lapped by his teammate now. Oh, and Mippo gets the next penalty, so both of those guys are now on 15 seconds.
We're almost, well, we are basically just over halfway through this race then. I wonder if we're going to see any disqualifications.
Yeah, we still could. Yeah, you're right, yeah. Both Meppo and Legend have been collecting penalties for basically all of the races.
And Joel picks up a penalty.
Oh, I think that's 6 seconds now.
That's not going to help his chances here then today.
Yeah, that's not only going to let Pretorius get past if everything stays as it is right now, but probably also Icewind, who only has 3 seconds of penalties, and he's going to be catching up quite a bit. He's been catching up to the back of Pretorius slowly. Oh, and we're seeing Legend pit, so the first of the medium runners now pitting. It's still... Wait, it's still 13 laps till the end of the race. That's going to be tough on the
Yeah, that feels early to me. I wonder... you're going to be running those tyres right up into puncture range, surely.
To be fair, McKendry has made it work for that long. So if Legend can make the tyres last as long as McKendry did, then he'll be fine, because McKendry has also kept quite a good pace until the end of his stint.
Look, I think Legend's going to come out in amongst this Pretorius Icewind battle then, I
think he will be right by Futuristic.
Yep,
or right behind
Icewind,
Icewind, yeah. So between Icewind and Futuristic, he's definitely got to be in that battle for a bit now, and with the Super Softs, he's going to be pushing a bit more. So he'll be catching up to the back of Icewind, I'd assume.
Yeah, we can expect to see a few moves from him shortly, I think.
Talking about people who are catching up to the back of somebody else, Joel now right behind Liquid Souls, and Icewind gets another penalty. Uh-oh, that's 6 seconds as well, I think.
Yeah, not going to be ideal for the BWT team then here today.
I mean, McKendry is looking extremely strong. He's got the freshest tire out of all of the medium runners, and he's way ahead of anybody.
Oh, Zyken pits.
Zyken pitting, that's going to be very interesting.
Okay.
If he's going to be around McKendry, then that's the battle for the lead right there. Legend getting past Icewind.
Mepo's coming down quite slowly. I think this might block a Zyken. Does it? No, Zyken does just get out.
Oh, that was... Yeah, okay, I'm just getting graphical glitches there. What I was about to say is Legend and Icewind now. Legend has managed to get past Icewind. Icewind on the oldest medium tires of all those who have pitted. And it's Zyken behind Joel. He's lost a bit of... he's lost a few positions there.
Yep.
He was...
Torres, of course, making his way around the first corner now as well, but he has got a bit of a gap to Zyken, so...
And Zyken, of course, the one who's now on the fresh Super Soft, so he could still... Well, he's going to be catching up to the back of Joel, and then he's going to be chasing after McKendry. Both McKendry and Zyken without any penalties still.
He's got 11 laps to do it.
Seconds. Legend... Yeah, I think Legend is chasing very heavily here after Pretorius, but getting a 10 penalty in the process isn't going to help. Another guy, Mepo in P7, right behind Icewind on fresh Super Softs as well. I think we might see these Super Soft runners chasing through the field, cutting through the field and gaining some more positions towards the end of the race here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how cleanly Mepo can get past Icewind then, the two Finnish drivers.
Yeah, I think one of the strategies is looking a lot stronger here. We have Joel now defending very hard from Zyken, and he has to, because Zyken is already almost next to him before the last corner, and he's going to be getting a better launch with those fast tires as well. So yeah, looking like an overtake here.
It doesn't look like Joel wants to go particularly defensive there, as Zyken just slings it down the inside. He made that look quite easy.
So Zyken now, well, this could be a strategic decision as well. If Zyken is released as soon as possible, then he can be chasing after McKendry, and that's gonna matter for the Constructors' Championship.
You see, Mepo makes his way past Icewind as well into the first corner, so he's making some positions now too. Yeah, Legend looks like he's... Wow, Legend's incredibly close to the back of Pretorius.
And he's got past!
Nearly.
Oh, that's I don't think we've seen anybody overtake there. That was before the chicane. Ooh, interesting. Nice move.
Yeah, brave work there from Legend.
Yeah, so Legend up into P4, getting past the championship leader, I think he is still. Pretorius should still be leading championship after his disconnect, I think. But it's definitely closer than it used to be. That's interesting. I thought we weren't going to see as much action as we see in the short races when we do 100%, but no, we're definitely seeing a lot of action here. And a lot of overtakes, especially because the strategy differences. You can very much tell that the different strategies matter quite a bit here. We have Mepo now chasing after Pretorius. That's not quite the battle I was expecting, but I'm happy to see it if everybody keeps it clean.
You should
and he takes the fastest lap as well. Incredible. And he's right on the back of Pretorius. He's he's going for the move! He's diving down the inside from behind, yeah.
Right. Pretorius very wide there, of course he's well entitled to do that. And yeah,
and
he's fast. Stick.
Yeah, so these old mediums, they're really not that quick anymore, and everybody on the mediums now really struggling to keep the guys on the super softs behind.
Joel picks up another 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that's gonna
hurt him a lot. Yeah.
1 second. Well, I'll show the penalties for a bit. 9 seconds for Joel now, and 18 for Legend, and Mepo has 15 behind, so Mepo now looking better than Legend. Icewind 6 seconds, Futuristic 9, and Luke Wetzel's 3, and then Fox with 12 seconds. Yeah, that's gonna change the standings quite a bit at the end of the race, especially with Joel, Legend, and Mippo. They're just gonna be losing a lot of positions there, with Pretorius and Icewind the ones perhaps benefiting from that.
Just trying to keep an eye on the battle for first at the minute. That gap is slowly decreasing. Question is it going to decrease enough by the end of the race?
Futuristic takes another penalty.
Scotto pits then, he's coming out on some fresh super softs. Last stop for him.
Has Futuristic actually lapped the car behind them?
Yeah, well, the graphics would lead you to believe so, yeah. So,
yeah, so that's maybe it won't matter that Futuristic has a lot of penalties then, because he's not going to drop down a full lap. Oh, and Legend sends it down the inside of Joel now. Yeah,
Legend that stick as well.
Legend's very much going for these dives right now. He's just sending it down the inside and going past. Really does not want to lose any time from being stuck in traffic here. Icewind has now caught up to Pretorius. He's almost within a second. And I think they've got Scorto between them. Yeah, they do.
Well, some back marker traffic to get through them before he can launch an attack then.
He might be doing that intentionally to get the DRS. Well, no, he would be getting the DRS off Pretorius. Never mind then. But and, yeah, very much within the DRS range.
Eppo now on the back of Joel. So he's within a second now as well.
Joel's just doing his best to stay on the back of Legend here, because Legend has given him DRS for this straight, but yeah, it's gonna be very tough to hang on to the back of them. Legend's still on pretty fresh super softs, and Joel on very old tires by now.
The gap between first and second is still slowly decreasing, but I'm not convinced it's enough or quick enough to allow his Lycan to launch an attack, maybe.
Yeah, I think I think McKendra has made the correct strategy decision here to go very long on those super softs at the start of the race, even if he lost some time from that possibly. Because now at the end of the race he's going to be on the freshest mediums, and we're not seeing the same tire degradation that we're seeing from the other drivers on his car, because McKendra very much not losing a lot of time to his Aiken here and still able to push the car a bit more. We're definitely seeing these other cars, especially the Dams, both the Dams and Icewind very much struggling on these mediums. Yeah. And well, Futuristic as well, he's just getting time penalties. That's definitely down to the tires as well. He's going to be struggling to keep the perfect line through the corners. And now Meppo right on the back of Joel.
I think we're going to see a pass here then, as Meppo sends it down the inside. Can he hold on?
Yeah, he's quite a bit ahead into the corner.
Joel's
going slightly wide.
Contemplating the switchback there almost, but stops in behind him.
So Joel did hit the apex there and was thinking about maybe taking the position back, but yeah. So Scorto is now fighting Pretorius on track for some reason. Oh yeah, he's unlapped himself because he's on fresh super softs. Still would be a bit bothering for Pretorius, I'd assume, who's trying to defend from Icewind right now.
Icewind's now 2-3 tenths behind him.
Yeah, the thing is, Pretorius is just ghosting through Scorto's car here right now. That's not going to be helping his defensive driving, I think.
And yeah, that gap isn't really dropping at all between first and second, so I think McKendra might very well have this in the bag. This is absolutely his race to lose right now.
Yeah, I think that was really the strategy, just chosen and executed perfectly. We did see that the medium runners, well, the medium starters, have quite the advantage here with Azaken, Legend, and Meppo now in P2 through 4. Those guys have gained a bit through their tire strategy. But the thing is that McKendra stayed out so long on those super softs that it's almost the same strategy as they ran. And McKendra gaining the track position through that and just able to keep Azaken behind for now. And those super softs, they're going to drop off. The super softs are going to drop off now. I think. Oh, 3 seconds for Zaken. Yeah, that's the race for McKendra then.
Wow. So yeah, that's played out beautifully into his hands. And so McKendra and Pretorius, the only 2 drivers right now on the grid. Oh, and Scorto as well. Sorry,
Scorto still
do not have penalties.
I mean, he's fighting Pretorius on track, so maybe he's just taking some notes while driving.
His gap to Fox is closing, but yeah, I think somebody up ahead of him needs to make a mistake for him to be able to take advantage of any penalties, unfortunately.
Oh, as we
no!
say that, he gets the penalty. Yeah, I think it might have just been a bit too much ghosting here through other cars to find the correct line through the corners.
Yeah, it's difficult to spot your apexes and the edges of curbs and stuff when you're half in, half out of somebody else's car.
I think they should just make them a bit more transparent. I think that could really help. Nobody needs the ghosts to be that opaque.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Icewind now on the back of Pretorius and with the RS assistance without the Scordo in between, so could be Icewind's chance to launch an attack now.
See then, as we head into the first corner, I don't think Icewind's close enough to do anything here.
Yeah, not quite. He's gonna be hoping for Pretorius to make a mistake through the S's, but until then, he'll have to try his luck again on the next main straight. Legend catching up to the back of the Zaken now, interesting. And Mippo getting another 3-second time penalty. I think he's caught back up to Legend in penalties at least.
That evens out that battle then. That's back to 18 seconds apiece.
Oh, Icewind getting a bit wide here, losing a bit of time to Pretorius.
I think that was Scorto ran very wide at the background there as well. So yeah, this is the closest battle on track then at the minute is the Icewind Pretorius fight. This is for P6 on track. Of course, it won't remain that way.
Yeah, because of all the penalties.
Because he has penalties, yeah.
And not only that, but also there's still the chance for both of them to get past Legend and Mippo on penalties, who both have 18 seconds. And Joel has, I think, 9 seconds as well now.
I think Pretorius would jump. Yeah, would jump Joel and Mippo and Legend. So I think Pretorius is running in essentially P3 right now, if my maths is correct.
That's quite interesting, yeah. Alright, so it shows time and time again, just keep it clean and you'll be gaining positions. Yeah, with no effort.
Zyken should be safe in his P2. That should remain his.
Well, unless he gets a few more penalties. We've seen a lot of penalties drop through this race, so potential is definitely still there. More mistakes to be made. But yeah, let's not curse him.
Vettel's looks good for a pole position start possibly on the next race as well, as he will jump up into 8th as things currently stand.
Oh, Mippo spun! Mippo has spun! Oh, yeah, that's gonna lose him positions, I think. Because he has 18 seconds of penalties, but now Icewind is going to get past as well at the end of the race, and so is Joel.
Yep.
He was running right behind Legend. He still had the chance to get past at the end of the race if Legend takes another penalty, but yeah, not anymore, and his tires are going to be dropping off as well, especially after a spin.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. He's actually been driving very well this race, if you ignore all the penalties.
Yeah,
shame for him. Now on the second to last lap. Third to last lap. 2 laps to go after this.
Yes. Oh, and closest battle on track now, actually, Legend, right behind Azaken. I did mention he was catching up, because Azaken wasn't able to catch up to McKendry, but Legend has been. Legend has been quicker than Azaken. Legend has been quicker than McKendry.
Hope there's no unnecessary dives going to be made here or anything. That would be quite catastrophic if anything goes wrong at this stage.
Yeah, Legend has been going for those opportunistic moves here. He's been going for a few dives.
And Scorto retires.
Yeah, I think he's hit a wall.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. He was actually going quite well as well. Okay, he was quite far back, but seemed to be keeping it fairly clean.
Yeah, I think that 3 seconds of penalties might have just been too much for him.
Kender takes us on to the second to last lap then. The final feature race of the season.
Icewind is back onto the rear of Pretorius here. Those two guys getting closer and further and closer and further.
Legend is starting to close the gap again on his Ike, and now as they come through the S's now into this cut through now into the back straight.
Yeah, Legend has been taking some very strong lines through these twisty sections of the track all race, and that's how he's been making these.
He's had
moves.
a good run. He's had a very good run out of that last corner.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's not quite enough because this straight is so short on the US short layout. But yeah, still definitely in attack range. So if Azaken gets a bad launch out of somewhere, then Legend is gonna be pouncing on that chance.
Come back and correct what I said earlier about Vettel's possibly taking 8th position at the end of this race. He is of course a lap down, so not close enough to take advantage of Futuristic's penalty points.
Yeah, so it seems like Futuristic will be the one starting from the reverse grid pole in the feature race.
So yeah.
Of course, it's going to be a bit weaker than usually the sprint race pole, because there's a lot more laps than usually, so perhaps some more chances to overtake the cars starting in front. But Futuristic does have some good pace here as well. He's not been slow, he's just been getting a few penalties and getting a bit unlucky with his strategy as well. Icewind looking towards the inside here.
Yeah, he thought about it for a second there, he decided against it in the end as Legend picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, I was thinking that would put Meppo back into contention, but no, he had a spin earlier.
Not quite yet, but it does put Legend very close to disqualification.
I can't also puts him close to his egg. I think 30. I think it should be 30 at least.
Oh, okay, he should be okay then.
Yeah, absolutely. Not quite the disqualification yet, but definitely getting closer than he would have liked.
Half a lap remaining then, less than half a lap now as Makender enters Sector 3 for the final time this race.
Yeah, so Makender heading towards the end of this race, the longest feature race we've had in F2. On the shortest track, I think, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, Makender taking his P1 here, Legend staying behind Azaken on track, but yeah, off track things are going to change a lot because of all the penalties. I'm going to be watching this battle until the very end here, Icewind and Pretorius. Maybe we still see something happen, who knows?
Pretorius will jump positions when he crosses the line here.
Yes. So
Where
Pretorius,
is he
of course,
going to slot in? Jumps
he's up to third, yeah. Onto the podium for him. Icewind did get past Meppo, but not past Legend, so... Well, Legend was still getting some penalties at the end, but it was worth fighting with Azaken there at the end, just to get a bit further away from Icewind. And we're going to be waiting on Fox to get past the start finish as well, so... Oh, actually, the timing tower was wrong all along. Look, Wetzel's wasn't lapped by Futuristic.
Oh,
he's actually
so he does get pole position.
Yeah, and that's gonna suck for Futuristic. He's not in a good position for the sprint race now. He's gonna be kicking himself.
He's gonna be very angry with that. That was less than ideal.
Yeah, I don't think we'll hear him sing today, actually.
Oh no! I can't remember what the conditions were of getting a sing-song.
I think he just wants to win a race.
Oh, okay. Well, we still have the sprint race to go.
Yeah, he could still... Well, everything can happen, especially in F2.
Yep.
So, we'll see. Maybe there's some interesting strategy in the sprint race as well. Who knows? Maybe the mediums won't last the full distance. So yeah, Makender making up 10 positions after starting at the back without without getting a lap in qualifying. He's gone back into the lead of the race. Azaken unable to get past him, or even close actually. I think he was still like 3 seconds behind at the end of the race. Makender wonderfully managing that gap, and Pretorius really getting a huge advantage from not taking any penalties. He's jumped up into the podium positions, and then his teammate Joel still right behind. Legend with 21 seconds of penalties, still in P5, which is actually quite impressive. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get that many penalties and still be in 5th place. Then Icewind, Meppo, Luke Wetzels, those 3 guys are going to be at the top of the grid for the sprint race, and then Futuristic and Fox at the end of the finishing cars, with Skordo and another tall guy both retiring.
Just looking at the fastest laps there quickly as well. Meppo's half a second faster. He's got the fastest lap by half a second on anybody else, and he's going to be starting from second in the sprint race.
Yeah, so if he can keep it clean, not get too many penalties in this sprint race, he might be in a good position.
It's definitely going to be one to watch. So Not quite as sunny in the sprint race. I don't think it's quite misty or cloudy enough to suggest there's going to be any rain.
Yeah, I think it's just looking like it's the evening now.
Yep, it's going to be a dry, potentially slightly cloudy race, I think.
Actually, I think it might be the morning. Does F2 sprint race run in the morning? I think it might.
Yeah, I should really know that, but I don't.
Well, maybe somebody in chat can tell us.
Wait patiently for everybody to load in. Get ourselves underway. This will be the final race of the season now for SLR before we move on to F1 2021. Might be a couple other little events in between time, but certainly for the official racing, this is the final.
And we're lining up for the hardest race. The hardest race of the lap. Yes, the hardest lap of the race again. We have Luke Witzel's now leading the field. Oh, that's looking a bit laggy, I think.
Yeah, some very exuberant tire warming going on there.
Let's hope that.
Oh, and he spun. Has he? And he's back on the track, huh?
Well, things are happening. I think his connection might not be the best to us, at least. But yeah, he's now in third, second. Who knows? He's definitely in some position, and we'll just hope that those issues sort themselves out by the start of the race. Race starts are always very scary if you have a disconnected or not just disconnected, but potentially also just desync car next to you.
Yeah, there is so much rubber banding going on there. That's not ideal. I really hope that sorts itself out. It's quite unnerving when you're following a car that's jumping around the track like that, because you're never sure whether you should go for the move or whether you're not, or whether you're going to make contact or what.
The thing is, we never know.
You get rubber banded into.
We never know what the drivers are actually seeing. For all we know, they could be seeing Luke Wetzel's in last position right now because he's desync for them. In which case they wouldn't be too affected, but maybe we'll see what's happening at the race start. So yeah, Meppo leading.
Starting on medium.
Meppo and Icewind leading those guys around now very quickly, and everybody behind forming a bit of a gap.
So mediums all round for the guys today then, of course. Makes sense, 22 laps to go. So I'd expect then if anyone picks up any incidents or gets involved in any incidents, then they'd probably be hoping it'll be after around sort of lap 5 or so then to jump onto the super soft. Otherwise it'll be a no-stop race for most drivers.
Yeah, I think they actually should be a bit more. I don't think they want to do too many laps on the super soft, so yeah, at least 7-8 laps until they lose their wing, and usually, of course, it's the race start where you lose the wings.
The lights begin to come on. It's suddenly got a tiny bit darker here. We are currently waiting.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
I'm not
to be
sure
starting.
for who. I wonder if we've got...
It's a lot darker for me as well now, but there's there's definitely no lights on yet. So could be Luke Wetzel's actually losing connection to the session now.
Oh,
and the lights are on.
Now. Yep, so 3, 4 and 5 lights are on, and we are away.
Oh, Icewind!
Icewind's got an amazing start there. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna come down between Vettel's and Meppel there. Meppel makes it past Vettel's now. Icewind's gonna be on the inside of a very laggy Vettel's, but he makes it stick. Icewind's up into second. Vettel's gone wide. He's going to lose another position here, possibly. Legend's looking like he wants to have a go here. Although Vettel's managing to lag himself back into second. I'm going to ignore that for now because it's difficult to track.
Vikander having a wonderful start. Vikander gaining positions here and actually getting past both Zegen and Pretorius. He was looking very quick in the...
He's side by side with Pretorius. That was
squeezing
so
Pretorius
close.
to the inside there, yeah.
More side-by-side action just behind the two as well. That's
Fox also looking to get into the action. Yeah, Fox sailing past the Zegen there.
Little bit of contact, no damage though, so...
Legend has managed to get past... Oh! That was looking like contact there. Icewind and Legend also fighting. Oh, Icewind spins!
There's a yellow flag, yeah.
Icewind's around. He's going to be losing so many positions from that. Oh, that's not what he would have wanted to happen. And he hasn't been the quickest on worn mediums as well, so he has to make some positions up quickly now. Pretorius right on the back of... Oh, and Meppo has taken the race lead, it seems. Yeah, so Meppo currently in P1. Luke Wetzel's in all of the positions behind that.
Another yellow flag at the back there. That's,
I think it's another tall guy.
Had an incident, yep. And he's got
Luke Wetzel's...
So he's pitting.
What's happening? Icewind is catching up to the back of Futuristic now, trying to make a move. Futuristic, of course, starting towards the back of the... Oh! Yeah, okay, another tall guy retires right away.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Oh, and they're side by side! Futuristic and Icewind! Icewind on the outside now for this next one. Oh, and he has to just slot in behind for now. Legend now driving through Luke Wetzel's.
Oh, and somebody's very wide in the background there. That was Scorto. Manages to just about hang on to it.
Well, we're just gonna ignore the positions that Luke Wetzel's is in. We'll see if it sorts out towards the end of the race, but as soon as there's some gaps on track there, it should be getting a bit better. Oh, McKendry getting his nose next to Joel here. He's really trying to get past. So both the BWT having to do quite some overtaking to do here in this race.
There's definitely some desync or something going on here, unless it's just a timing tower glitch that's affecting things here, because to me it should be a 0.2 second gap between Mepo and Legend, but visually on track...
It's looking like more.
Yeah, I'd guess that to be a 0.4, maybe 0.5 second gap. Oh, okay, it looks like it's corrected itself now, up to 0.7.
Alright, and Luke Witzel's getting a penalty for legging himself off track. McKenna looking towards the inside of Joel here.
So Joel needs to try and
oh, Wazaken has managed to get past Fox now. That was some touching there.
Hender looking very racy on the back of Joel, actually.
Oh yeah, he's taking those outside lines. He's really looking to all sides of Joel here. And you can pretty much
going on here.
I think you can actually, through this chicane, you can pretty much tell who the drivers getting the time penalties are, because we've pretty much seen Joel just go straight through, and McKendry definitely turning a bit more to make sure he doesn't get any warnings there. Oh, look, Wetzel's now very much desynced.
Yep.
McKendry trying to make a move here on Joel, but who knows what they see on their screen. Look, Wetzel's is also in the mix there for sure. Scorto has spun again, I think.
Yeah, it's not going well for him, unfortunately, this evening.
Legend is now actually on the back of Mepo, by the way. So they're gonna have DRS soon.
Should have DRS on this weapon pack.
They have DRS, yes. So McKendry opening that wing, and Legend also chasing after Mepo here.
No DRS, of course, for Joel. So
and he's trying to make the move. Oh, and we're just seeing front wing cameras. That's not what I wanted. But yeah, he's
made it stick. Yep.
And McKendry trying to make the move on Joel as well. They're side by side through the S's again. Oh, so close. Incredible how close these cars get without touching.
This is the battle for third, of course. Everybody's within 0.2, 0.3 of a second of one another.
Oh, McKendry getting a very good launch through there.
Oh,
Joel going a bit wide. Well. Yeah, he's making sure to not touch with McKendry here, but that might have actually been
next to him. He's gonna squeeze him right to the outside. I wonder if McKendry can hang on to that.
Oh, Pretorius now looking. Oh, yeah, of course, Pretorius and Joel still teammates.
McKendry's back down the inside of Joel. McKendry's just gone straight back down the inside of Joel. They're side by side now coming into this final sector.
Yeah, very close here for sure.
McKendry's getting a really good run around the outside. Joel is gonna find his way around the shortest route there, but McKendry's now on the inside.
Oh, and there's some big contact. Oh. Yeah, McKendry's sliding into Joel. Oh, so close. Pretorius touching the back of McKendry now. Oh, Pretorius could have gotten past there, but no, he touched the back. He touched the back of McKendry. Oh, Pretorius!
McKendry sends it down the inside of Joel.
Pretorius was thinking about sending it down the outside at the same time, but he was just trying to not lose a lot of time to McKendry. He was just trying to keep
this
it clean.
fight's not over. Joel and McKendry are still side by side through the S's. Pretorius looks like he wants to get involved in the action here as well.
This is incredibly close. Oh, Joel taking the racing line, but then going too wide. Oh, Mepo takes the penalty. Joel.
McKendry takes a penalty as well, and Joel takes a penalty.
Oh, that's gonna hurt both of them. Now Pretorius is looking to be in the best position as long as he gets past Joel, but we might still see some calls from the team principal here.
This is frantic.
Oh, by the way, look,
exactly what it's all about.
Look, Wetzels is also kind of in that battle right now. We don't know where exactly, but he's very much on the back of the Zaken. To both sides at the same time.
Oh no, somebody spun out of the back there.
Is that futuristic?
That's futuristic.
Yes. So after Icewind lost a lot of positions doing something similar, now Futuristic go on to lose a lot of time. Scorto has spun again as well, I think. And we have Pretorius right on the back of Joel, but also Azaken behind them with DRS, so they really don't want to be switching position intentionally right now, because Azaken is going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, take a moment to get our breath back here after that frantic last lap.
Oh, Azaken!
Oh,
Azaken looking racy. Yeah, he was trying to get past Pretorius there right away. Oh. These guys are really just diving for the positions from really far back.
Nothing to lose, of course. This is the final rail. Everything to lose, but
that's true. That's true.
Going out with a bang, I guess.
Well, we've seen some wheel bangs. Oh, look, Wetzel's just stopping on the side of the track now.
I did wonder what that was. That was really strange. We've got Fox and Icewind doing a very heated battle here. Icewind's going to send it down the inside of Fox.
Ooh, very close.
Takes a penalty for his trouble.
Oh, the penalties are really bad on this track. And he's almost running into the back of Fox as well. Yeah, I think Icewind would like to go a bit faster, but not quite able.
Legend pass on this second. There's so many corners. Legend picking up a time penalty.
Legend pulling a 2-second gap on Mippo, with Mippo having 3 seconds on McKenna behind him. McKenna now trying to get away from Joel, of course. He's gained a few tenths, but Joel is going to have the DRS assistance on the main straight now.
Legend pumping the fastest lap. Yeah.
Alright, so a bit of a train now, slowly starting to form. Icewind trying to get past Fox. Fox doesn't have the DRS off the
Icewind goes for the dive. He's not quite close enough to make it stick.
Oh, but Fox going a bit wider just to make sure. Oh, and they touch wheels! Oh, and that's gotta be a wing. Oh, yeah, that's not looking good for... Yep, that's half a wing off. That was a bit too much wheel banging there, and Icewind, the one who's unfortunate here, breaking his wing. Yeah, he's gonna have to go for the super softs.
That was so nearly a DNF as well. The way he ran into the barrier there, I was half expecting to see a safety car come out for that, which would have been interesting because we would have been curious to see how many people would have jumped onto the super soft.
See, the one that I would have liked to watch under a safety car is Icewind. So if he had caused a safety car there, then that would have been disappointing. Oh, I now know what happened in the feature race as well. So look, Wetzel's is now showing as lapped again.
Right. Okay. So he's been rubber banding all evening then, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not been affecting anyone else's drive. And fingers crossed it's just for us. And McKenna now pumps in the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah. So McKenna now released from Joel, getting after Mippo here. Of course, trying to get away from Pretorius, who doesn't have a penalty.
Yeah, Pretorius getting very close to the back of Joel. I wonder if we're going to see some team orders. The Dams boys are usually in voice chat with one another, so they will be talking.
Yeah, they're very close to each other, but I don't think they want to be making any position swaps right now, because Azaken is right there to take advantage as soon as Joel moves over. So pretty much wherever they... Oh yeah, and there is a position change. That did look quite intentional, and Azaken is there, and he's almost taking advantage of him but...
Yeah, Joel just slamming the door shut in his face before he can manage to do anything.
Yeah, of course it's easier to slam the door shut with 2 cars rather than just one. So Pretorius helping out a bit here. And
let's see then, he proceeds to chase down McKenna now.
Well, it's still going to be interesting to see Azaken fighting Joel here, because Azaken was one of the quick guys in the feature race as well, and he's right behind Joel. As soon as Pretorius is far enough away from Joel, then that might be a tough defense that Joel will have to put on here. Oh, and another 3-second time penalty for Fox this time. Wait, I'm going to show the penalties from now on, because I don't think the tire strategy is too interesting. I think it's... Has Scorro pitted?
I don't think so. Legend picks up a 3-second time penalty, so top 3 equalized. Or neutralized, sorry.
This could still be very good for Pretorius, who's chasing after all of them.
Yeah, this could be a mighty jump from him, possibly.
Okay, so Scorcho did not pit. He's also still on old medium, so Icewind the only one on super softs now. Right, so we have 3 seconds for the top 3. We also have 3 seconds for Joel in P5. And then Wetzel's, Fox and Futuristic all on 6 seconds right now. And the 2 guys on the back, 3 seconds each. Yeah, Icewind.
Coming up to halfway through the race and only 2 guys with no penalties.
Icewind has to hope for a safety car here. He's not going to get back into the race here. He's more than 40 seconds behind Futuristic now, and probably 50 seconds from the points positions.
Legend taking back the fastest lap from Makender. Can Makender respond? He crosses line now. No, he can't.
Joel is now outside the DRS window of Pretorius, so is like now catching.
Viking getting very close to the back of Joel, yeah. It's a good exit from the first corner here. Can he keep with Joel through the S's? Closing the gap through the S's. Yeah, this is looking very good. Just needs to keep it clean through this section now. This is where everybody's been collecting their points, their penalty points. Bit of a wide exit there, it's going to cost him a little bit.
Makender now within a second of Mepo as well, so Makender looking to move up through the podium positions.
And Mepo seeming to have lost a second to Legend somewhere all of a sudden, so I wonder if he's had a bit of an incident and jumped wide or slid or something. See what happens between the Zyke and Joel battle here. This is the battle for 5th position.
Well, I'm going to check out Makender. Mepo going a bit wide here in the last corner, and Makender now catching up off the DRS assistance. Yeah, but it's not going to be quite enough.
Yep, as I can also, I don't think it's close enough to Joel to make anything happen here, unless there's going to be a late dive.
Oh, Azaken has been braking extremely late into this corner. He has been braking very late into corner.
And look at Makender. Just for a second there, looking at the timings, that Makender was like less than a tenth to Mepo, so
in the S's,
through the S's, yeah.
Yeah, so he's right on the back now, and Pretorius is 3 seconds behind, so as long as Makender can keep that gap, he's in a good position still, despite the time penalty he has.
Big lock up from Makender once more, that probably won't affect him too much just yet.
Icewind putting in the fastest lap while he's on the fresh super soft, so yeah, that was kind of to be expected. And I think Squarter's letting him pass on the straight.
No point fighting that one when you've got one of the championship contenders behind you.
Yeah, I still don't really think it's going to make much of a difference, to be honest, but yeah, just still a nice gesture. And now Makender very close to the back of Mepo, getting a very good launch here with the DRS assistance, very much catching up. Going to the inside here, getting past.
He's gonna make it stick.
Oh yeah, he's going past. Oh, but Mepo getting a very good launch. He's going for the switchback.
And it's Zyke managed to pass Joel on the exact same corner. Joel spun it.
Oh no! Yeah, so that's
touched the wall, so no damage. But this is costing him huge amounts of time now as he tries to turn himself.
Oh, Mepo runs into the back of Makender. Yeah, so those two guys still fighting very, very closely. Yeah, so Joel kind of dropping the wall there. I don't know, was there contact between the two?
Didn't look like there was contact. They were very, very close to one another though.
Yeah, so Joel just not getting an optimal line then probably and spinning because he
I think as Zyken came down the inside of him and Joel, I think, looking like he wanted to try and go for the switchback, but just over accelerated and not ideal. Unfortunately, it's a shame for him.
Yeah, so both of the top teams fighting for the championship here now with only one driver left in the race. I think it might have already been decided at this point after the feature race, but yeah, still a close battle between those two teams, with Makender for BWT kind of looking on the upper hand P2 right now. And Icewind gets a penalty. He's just pushing on those super softs.
Also picking up a penalty earlier on there as well as he was correcting his spin.
Mepo is keeping up with Makender here. Not quite to the S's, but we see.
And Legend picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's costing the lead.
Well, not quite yet, but it will. It will at some point if Makender keeps catching up. Oh, Mepo also on 6 seconds, by the way. That's gonna actually lose him some positions to Pretorius and Azaken behind, because those guys have been gaining on this fight here a bit.
Kender possibly in a position to capitalize from all this now. If you can just keep it clean and get some clean laps in. Icewind taking the fastest lap of the race.
But further down the grid, we're seeing Futuristic very close to the back of Fox. So those two guys, Corsa, starting to battle a bit here.
Yeah, teammates, of course. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of team orders coming into this final section here.
Are they actually teammates, or is it just two red teams? I'm always confused. Because they have very different liveries.
Yeah, I think they're both Prima. I think.
I know that Futuristic is Prima, I'm not sure about Fox, but yeah. They're the two red cars.
Chat will correct us.
Chat hasn't been talking to me a lot, so chat, if you're there, maybe let us know if we're correct about this or just talking out of several, what's it called, crevices?
Trying to keep the stream child friendly.
Yeah, that's why I'm using words that I myself don't even know.
Oh, so got locked up there from Fox. That's Futuristic's going to be right up behind him. So yeah, these two look like they are battling.
Mepo, by the way, now outside of the DRS window of Mekender, so that's going to allow Pretorius to catch up pretty soon, I think.
Kendra's actually, losing time to Legend still as well.
Yeah, McKenna not quite able to catch up there, so Legend definitely pushing a bit to make up for that time penalty he got.
So and something's happened no, it hasn't, it's just Vettel's lagging up and down the grid.
Oh. So very, very strong showing here from Legend. Pace-wise, he's had the real good pace today. He's had very strong pace today and was looking very quick throughout both of these races, but he's been taking way too many time penalties to actually get it into a good position. But now only 6 seconds, and McKendry behind him has 3 seconds as well, so currently still in the race lead.
Just having a quick look at the penalty situation. So Legend has, of course, his 2 penalties for 6 seconds plus 1 warning. So he has another warning and then another infringement before he gets another penalty. Mekender is in dangerous water because he has his penalty and 2 warnings, so one more mishap from Mekender will get him another 3 seconds.
Oh, actually, I think Icewind is just having fun with it at this point. He keeps getting penalties.
Pretorius actually having a warning on the opening lap of the race, but keeping it clean since then, so he's looking good on the penalty front. And Zykin on his last warning as far as penalty goes.
Yeah, so Pretorius and Zek, 2 of those guys who were keeping it quite clean in the...
Oh, and there's a yellow flag!
Scorto.
Who is that? Yeah.
That's Scorto.
He's been struggling a little
and
bit this race,
Futuristic gets another penalty as well. So Futuristic and Joel behind now. Well, and actually Fox as well. So Fox, Futuristic and Joel, those 3 guys have been getting closer and closer to each other. They're all on 9 seconds now. Mekender is now very slowly, I think, catching up to Legend, but yeah, really extremely slowly, just about, I think he's gained like 2 tenths over the last few laps now.
He really doesn't have much time left to make
this
work.
There's a yellow flag. That's either Fox or Futurist. I think it's Fox. Fox into the wall, Fox into the wall.
Don't think he has any damage. No, he doesn't.
That's quite surprising.
Yeah, these F2 cars are quite hardy somehow compared to the F1 cars. They never seem to damage quite so easily.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not seeing a lot of wings actually break off. Just small damage usually, and sometimes you just get lucky and you don't have damage despite hitting a wall. So, Fox still outside of the points positions now, with Futuristic and Joel now battling it out for P7 and 8. And who knows where on track Wetzel's actually is. I think he's solidly in P6, but it's...
Yep.
telling us he's a lap down.
Yeah,
Pretorius catching up.
Is closing the gap. It's not. I don't think it's going to be quick enough though. It needs to knock another 2. I think basically another 3 seconds off to steal that victory back from Legend.
To be fair, I think Mekender did see how many penalties Legend had in the feature race, so he might just be hanging inside that 6 seconds gap right now and hoping for Legend to get another penalty by the end of the race.
Yep.
I think Legend was the one with the most warnings throughout the feature race. He's learned the track a bit more since then, but
yeah, he does have scope to have one more warning before he's awarded another penalty, so he can cut a corner twice more now. Makenda is actually the one that's in the riskier position because one mistake from him and he will be given another time penalty.
We have Scordo pitting. I think he's probably gone for his super softs now.
Be an attempt on the fastest lap.
Could be, yeah.
Although he's not in the top 10, so I don't think that will help him. But it will only take one DNF to make that count.
I think he has to be in the top 8 actually in the sprint race because only the top 8 are awarded points because of their position. So I think that's also how the fastest lap point is awarded. And Futuristic gets another penalty, so now on 12 seconds actually. And Joel behind him has 1 penalty less. So by the end of the race, Joel is looking to be in a good position. Actually, Icewind is clawing his way back.
Another yellow flag.
Oh!
Another yellow flag, sector 3, that's Fox again.
Yeah, so Icewind now very much clawing his way back towards the points positions. That's not what I expected from this race, but Icewind will be very happy about that.
A couple of spins now from a few of the drivers. I wonder if they start to struggle on the tyres.
Yeah, these tyres, of course, 22 laps is a lot to go on these mediums. Did we see anybody do that many laps on the mediums in the feature race?
No, I think it would have been less.
Yeah, I think so too. So, oh, actually, I think Icewind's tires at the end of the feature race might have been that old, but yeah, they were very much struggling. By all of them, all the medium runners were struggling after I think 15, 16 laps. They were a lot slower than the super soft runners. So yeah, maybe these tires are just degrading a bit now. Makender actually catching up quite a bit to Legend now.
Yeah, he is starting to catch him back up now and decrease that gap somewhat.
And also we have Pretorius, who has gained a lot of time to Mepo, now just hanging in that 2.5 seconds gap. He's not been gaining a lot of time in the last few laps.
The gap is slowly decreasing between Makender and Legend. He just needs to keep... Oh, I say that, just as it starts increasing again.
Futuristic.
So,
Futuristic a little bit out of a wobble here, out of the last corner, and now Joel has a chance to make an overtake happen. He's on the outside, Futuristic breaking that bit later, but Joel getting the power down earlier instead. He might be getting the switchback. No, he tucks in behind.
They're going side by
side again. And Joel tucking in behind again, but yeah, he's so much closer now. And Icewind actually catching up to the back of Fox now, so Icewind moving towards 9th place.
Wonderfully close racing here between the drivers. Everyone keeping it very clean as well. We haven't had any... It's unusual not to have a safety car in the F2 races. And,
that's true, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really impressed.
Especially with more laps, you'd expect more safety cars, but there isn't. They've been keeping it very clean contact-wise. We've not seen a lot of contact, really. Just some wheel banging, some unfortunate incidents like the one Icewind had. But apart from that, everybody pretty much staying on track.
Last lap now, of course. Makender's gap to Legend has increased back up to around the 6-second mark, so he needs to somehow gain 3 seconds in 2 laps.
Has Legend got another warning since we last checked, though?
Let's have a look.
Joel going for the inside here?
Legend has not gained another warning, so he still has one free corner cut, if you want to look at it that way.
Joel not quite able to make the move. Joel not quite able to make the move here on Futuristic. Still staying behind for now. It doesn't really matter either way, because Futuristic has 12 seconds of penalties and Joel only has 9. Icewind now making a move on Fox. Yeah, he's already passed easily. So Icewind up into 9th place. Icewind with more penalties than Fox as well, so... Yeah, again, doesn't really make any difference. But... Oh, Legend putting in the fastest lap, so now we know why Makender isn't gaining. Because
that's a statement, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
Those tyres must be really, really hurting as well. He's been pushing all race.
I'm not sure if pushing right now is what he wants to do. He should be driving a bit more conservative to make sure he doesn't get a penalty.
Yeah, we are on the second to last lap, of course, so see if he can keep this pace up safely.
By the way,
risky, as you say.
Mepo is still looking good for a P4 finish here because Azaken hasn't managed to hang on to the back of Pretorius anymore. He's dropped down quite a bit, and that's more than 6 seconds to Mepo now. Joel trying another move here. Joel going for the inside, and this time he's the one braking later. Pushing Futuristic a bit wide there, taking the apex. And yeah, Joel moves up into 6th place.
That was quite a late dive, but he's made it stick there. Futuristic's not giving up though, he's right behind him, straight back into Slipstream.
And takes the 3-second penalty as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Legend definitely deploying the go big or go home strategy here. And he seems to be going big because he's pushing and he's still not getting 10 penalties.
And another fastest lap of the race, a 1:16.666.
Yeah, he's definitely showing Mekender how to drive this track right now. That's quite impressive that he still has that kind of pace left at the end of the race.
Oh, and if I can pick up a penalty, I don't think that's going to change anything.
No, but that's gonna give Mepo some room to breathe. Looks like he's gonna be keeping that 4th position by the end of the race. And Pretorius still not able to catch up to Mepo, so Pretorius not able to get past Mekender either because of that. And Mepo takes 3 more seconds.
Oh no!
Well, just as I said, he gave, Zaken gave Mepo some more room to breathe. Mepo has promptly managed to choke. And he's got 3 more seconds now. Yeah, it's gonna be close to the end of the race. There's about 7 seconds between them right now, so Zaken needs to gain a second somewhere.
Yeah, Mekender's still losing huge amounts of time now to Legend, so Legend absolutely putting the hammer down here.
Yeah, Legend just getting a bit of wheel spin here, but it's enough to claim the victory of the sprint race. Legend crosses the line first.
Comfortable finish to the race. There is a bit of fighting going on in the back though. I think that was Joel and Futuristic not quite finished their scrap yet.
Yeah, they're still close to each other. Still looking like there's too much of a gap for Futuristic to make anything happen here, and he does have more penalties as well. So Zaken now really dropping down to 5th position at the end of the race there. Oh, and Futuristic gets another penalty. So now evenly matched with Icewind. Oh, I don't think it matters anymore, to be honest. So look, Wetzel's. Oh, and Futuristic is weaving as well. Quite the interesting way to. Oh, Joel's just letting it pass now. Interesting. Oh, and it's a photo finish. Beautiful.
Some formation flying across the line here, the last race of the season.
Wonderful. Yeah, those two guys have been fighting each other a lot. Oh, Icewind is just going straight on, and he's doing donuts. Beautiful. So Icewind wasn't going to get any points there. Just decided to opt for some donuts instead.
And quite right.
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody gets to do donuts, I think it's Icewind. I believe he's won the Constructors' Championship.
Might be right there actually.
Yeah, so Mekender outscoring Pretorius, I think in both races here in USA Short, and that's gonna give Mekender and Icewind the Constructors' Championship here.
Yeah, some frantic couple of races here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely, a lot of action. I wasn't expecting that much action from such a long race, but we definitely still saw some good fighting, some nice overtakes. Everybody's still very close to each other, as is tradition in F2 by this point. Driver of the Day awarded by the game to Mekender. I don't think we can give it to anybody else. He was having 2 very amazing races. Yeah, just cutting through the field in both races, almost getting the... He was getting very close to Legend as well in that sprint race, but yeah, Legend just hanging on to the victory there. But yeah, just very commanding drive from Mekender in both of the races. He's gained 10 positions in the feature race, which is very impressive. Just selected the correct strategy, kept it very clean in both races as well. So
yep.
very much
from the back of the grid in the first race as well, of course. So did well to make his way through all the traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. Two very amazing races from Mekender there, and I'm pretty sure that secures the Constructors' Championship for BWHWA Race Lab. The team we didn't have last season, actually, I think. I
Yeah, we
believe
were
that's
one
the
down.
cars. Yeah, I think that's the team that we left out last season, and now they're back and winning the constructors championship. So yeah, McKender and Icewind are going to be feeling quite pleased about that. And Pretorius probably kicking his computer out the window right now because those disconnects have really cost him dearly. But still good races from him as well today. Showing some good pace, but yeah, not quite enough to get past McKender.
So a couple of interviews to get through then. Who should we start with?
Well, I'm not seeing the channel right now, but yeah, there's a few guys there.
Let's pull Joel in, shall we?
Yeah.
Hello, Joel. How's it going? Welcome to the commentary booth.
No.
Yeah, tricky couple of races there. Actually looked fairly okay for the feature race, but yeah, sprint race not quite to plan. Tell me how that went for you.
Well, the first race, the overcut was so much more powerful than I was expecting. McKender came out ahead of me by like a few seconds. It was ridiculous. So I just lost positions on strategy. Didn't really make any mistakes. So just penalties as well was an issue. But I think the first race was okay. But considering I was less than a tenth off pole, I should have been getting more from that, which would have helped the constructors as well. But yeah, I mean, second race, I was just in a train. Couldn't really do anything about it. That lagging car of Luke Westall's or whatever as well was quite annoying because I didn't want to just drive flat out, but to get up to the top two, Meppo and Legend, because I might have got swiped off by him. So I was hoping that he would get stuck between me and McKender, so McKender would be held up, but it didn't really work like that. I had a really good battle with McKender as well. I don't know if you got that on stream, but like side by side through the S's for almost half the lap. So I had to try and keep him behind for Prey because of the championship, which I think he won in the end, if he's done his maths correctly. So well done to Prey. But yeah, the constructors, we really needed 1-2 in each race today. Obviously didn't get it. So well done to Icewind and McKender. I mean, I only really turned up in like the 5th round onwards, so I could have done more towards it if I practiced a bit more. But yeah, it's been a fun season. It's been nice to be up in the top 5 consistently rather than the bottom 5 consistently like tier 2.
It's been really nice to watch you kind of get to grips with the car as well, and really get stuck in and improving race on race on race as well. It's been great fun, especially since it looks like we had for the second half of the F2 season there quite evenly paced drivers between yourself and Pretorius, and of course the BWT guys as well. So nice to see that sort of two sort of big teams going head to head, and then the drivers, of course, from both teams pushing each other as well constantly all the way around. So yeah, it's been great fun to watch. But yeah, so I'm not actually 100% sure where we're at with the scores. I'd have to double check that. We're actually a bit behind, to be fair, with the with the scoreboards. But yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Times.
Yeah, I think according
but he says, "Nah, I'll get it done. It's fine." Off to McDonald's 3 weeks later, hasn't come online for 5 days.
No. Oh. I do believe that the BWT championship is quite the big lead at the end of the season there because of two more very strong races from McKender. But yeah, was definitely very entertaining to see all you 4 guys battle it out through the whole season. To see you fighting so closely. It was nice to have a battle for the championship there.
Should we drag Pretorius in? Because I think.
Oh yeah, he's just joined the interviews channel.
Yes.
Get him in. Hello, Pretorius. Welcome to the commentary booth. You're here with myself and Eversnacks and Joel. Yeah, we're currently discussing championship points and positions and whatnot. We think you've won the championship. If we're right, then congratulations.
Yeah, I did some calculations as well, and yeah, as far as I can tell, I did win it. But so yeah, I'm just really happy about 2 times in a row now winning it. and I was extremely worried in this race, especially because I wasn't totally sure what the standings were like. I think I calculated that I was 15 points ahead of Icewind, but I forgot to factor in McKinder. So when he started, when he first got that good result in the feature race, I was really worried that maybe he was gonna be really close to me in the championship and then finish ahead of me in the sprint as well. But now that I've checked the results from previous races, it does look like I still took it. So yeah, I was very worried there for a bit.
Yeah, it must be a big relief, especially after last week. You think you had quite a few connection issues during one of the races. You're kind of jumping in and out, and it seemed to have cost you quite a few positions in that race.
Yeah.
So yeah, must be a huge relief to finally have made it to the end in one piece and clinch the title after all.
Yeah, it would have been really sour to lose the championship because of disconnects. I mean, I've definitely lost a lot of points this season, just from disconnects. So that would have been really frustrating. I was worried that it was going to happen again in this race, but luckily it didn't. So yeah, I definitely did lose quite a lot, but yeah, luckily though it didn't affect the championship in the end.
Well, yeah, congratulations on the victory, and yeah, we'll look forward to the next next action from the next F2 season from you both.
Do you think
Yeah,
Pretorius
congrats.
is the Kimi Raikkonen of SLR? Yeah, I was really happy to win 2 championships in a row.
Well, maybe, but Kimi Raikkonen is only one-time champ.
I'm 5 for next season anyway.
Maybe
I'll
I'm
have to find a new
Fernando
team.
Alonso.
That's it's been great fun to watch these fight, especially the we were saying to Joel before you came in there, the battle that you guys have been having against the two BWT guys as well. It's been really great fun to watch that inter team rivalry that's been going on there between the two. So yeah, it's been a real treat to watch and commentate on.
Yeah, it's been
So,
great fun. Very close battle. I actually don't know what the team's championship is like, but I don't know if you did some calculations for that as well. But I guess otherwise we'll probably find out soon. But yeah, it has been fun battling those two Finns, but also frustrating at times. But yeah, that was it was good to have a close fight, I think, in this season.
yeah, definitely. We'll look forward to more of that in the future, hopefully. But yeah, no, I will move you back to the interview channel. So thanks very much for having a chat to us, and yeah, congratulations again on the championship win.
Thank you.
We'll hopefully see you both next season.
Great, thank you.
Okay, let's see, who else do we have? Let's
Oh, Icewind
pull
just joined as well.
in. Yeah, let's pull Icewind in, shall we? We haven't had a chat to him for a while. Hello, Icewind. Welcome to the commentary booth.
Well,
Not an ideal couple of races for you, unfortunately, today. We were trying to figure out the maths. We're not sure if BWT have got the constructors title or not.
I'm fairly certain we did, because we have, I think, outscored the other team in the last 3 races, and we were ahead of them anyway at that point. So I think we should have it in the bag.
Yep.
So yeah, team-wise, of course, that was the goal, as I've been saying in every interview this season. I think that the team doing the best result as a team, and I think somewhere halfway through the season we thought that I think the team championship is also like a realistic goal. But yeah, congrats to Pretorius. I don't think this was ever really in any doubt. I mean, considering he's given probably like 100 points to us with disconnects and other weird technicalities or technical issues or whatever he's had. So yeah, I think nobody in F2 can really challenge him at all. So yeah, that was never in doubt, at least from my side. And I know I've kind of downplayed my chances on the drivers title the entire season, but I think it was never really a contest against him. So yeah, team-wise, McKender did very well today. I'm really happy for that because I certainly did not. Yeah, I was really struggling with pace overall in this race. I just sort of couldn't really find the I think it's more about rhythm because we drove with the same setup with Mackinder, and I just sort of, I don't know, I just couldn't really get into the groove. And then in the second race, I was challenging Fox into turn 1 and out of turn 1, and I was on the outside, and I think I don't know, did he get like snap of oversteer or whatever, but he like bumped me a little bit, and I think you've seen it in the F1 races as well, that it's so easy to fly into the wall out of that turn. And that's what happened to me. And then I was forced to put those old super softs on, and I was like dubious if I can actually get those to the end, but I did. But yeah, I was too far anyway to really do anything in the last race except Joe Nuts on the final lap there. So yeah, it's been a long season, and I think this is also the last race of this league race of this game. So yeah, it's,
yeah, that's it. That's it.
I'm happy, and I'm gonna demand that we get the constructor champions role on. Yeah, my only thing I've ever won in sim racing since my return. So
as a well-deserved constructors, definitely. It's been a treat to watch yourself and the other guys racing for the top 4 all the time.
Yeah, I think we did a really good job with Mackinder, especially in the last. Well, if let's say excluding me today, because that was pretty shocking, as you guys saw. But like we did a pretty good job especially in the last half of the season. I think as a team, I would say that we maximized what we could get out of the races, and on most occasions, some unfortunate incidents for the both of us, I think. But yeah, I think. As I said, like Pretorius was untouchable and has always been untouchable in F2, and I don't think that's gonna change. So.
Yeah, I think it's the team play was very interesting to watch for sure. Today, for example, I think you split the strategy in the feature race with you pitting early, trying to get the undercut, and then Mackinder going a bit longer. I think you were just able to hold off Pretorius and Futuristic a bit. Those two guys were fighting you for a few laps. And that's potentially something that helps as well in the team's championship.
Yeah, I actually kind of forgot about that already. But yeah, I tried to go for the undercut in the feature race. That didn't work at all, actually. So the super softs that Mackinder stayed out on, he had really good pace overall anyway. So yeah, he made that strategy work. And the overcut, I think, was actually the right call to go in the feature race, because the what are the mediums or whatever that other tire was? They were quite terrible, actually. So yeah, I especially like the first 2 laps out of the pits were trying to get warmth in the tires, and it was really temperature in the tires, and it was really difficult. So, but I saw that everybody else was basically struggling with that as well. Pretorius had a really poor outlap out of the pits, and I caught him by like 1.5 seconds or something there. But yeah, really difficult to overtake also on this track. Yeah.
It was a strange strategy when we saw Mackinder extending the first stint for so long. Like we did wonder if he was taking a massive risk, but interesting to see that it paid off in such a spectacular fashion. But
yeah, definitely. I mean, we were on BC and we were like sort of trading the sector times, and he was seeing that he was still doing greens, and I was like barely doing greens at all on the new the other tires. So it was obvious that we can just give it a go, and it worked beautifully for him. So yeah, at least one of us got the strategy right. I tried something, maybe you remember Spa, where I did a very early undercut, and that worked amazingly well, and I won that race. But today, I think the overcut was the better strategy.
Yeah, definitely. But no, congratulations for the Constructors Championship, and
yeah, I think we were waiting for the official confirmation, but I think we should have it in the bag.
I think that is it. Yeah, I think you guys have Constructor and Pretorius as the driver. So yeah. No, well done. And
happy to give him at least a little bit of a scare that we were closer than we should have been. Let's say with his disconnections and whatever technical issues he's had this season. So yeah.
It's good to see him challenged quite hard, especially after the previous season that we had in F2 that he won as well. So he didn't have it quite as easy this time around.
Yeah. And maybe one last final word here is that this was definitely an assist track. It definitely was. But yeah, it's not an excuse that I didn't have pace, but yeah, I think both me and Pretorius actually had really close pace. I just got a lot of penalties. That's the difference.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but yeah, no, it was good racing all the same, and yeah, we've been treated to quite a few good moments and good fights, so certainly can't complain. Very much looking forward to the next season already.
Yep, in the next game, yep.
But
thanks for doing commentary all season. I think you guys done a wonderful job, and yeah, hopefully hear you guys next season again. So yeah,
thank you very much. No, I think we've both really enjoyed it. Have like I say, certainly been a hell of a lot of action to commentate on. It seems like there's always a lot busier than the F1 races somehow, so there's always a lot more going on.
Yeah, they're quite violent, these cars to drive sometimes. So yeah, but yeah, it's been quite fun overall. Some highs and lows as it always goes, but yeah, I've definitely had fun this season. So
brilliant stuff, brilliant to hear. But yep, I'll move you back to the interviews and bid you farewell, and we'll hopefully see you next season.
Yep, see you guys.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Shall we have a chat with Futuristic next?
Sure.
Hello, Futuristic.
Hello.
Bit of a tricky couple of races for you there, it looked like today. And quite a few penalties rolling in for everybody actually today. So just struggling with the track layout, or what do you think was going on there?
Yeah, most likely, because I mainly got my my time penalties in the new section where you cut away from the full layout, which was pretty awkward in the F2 cars because you need to slow down so much more than you actually think for the left-hander, because the track limits go super fast to you on the exit. So, and yeah, as you said, way too many penalty points for me and even some others. So it could have gone either way for me today if I was penalty clean or if I would have stuck with my penalties that I had. But yeah.
We still saw some great fighting though from you, despite the penalty situation. There's quite a few times where a lot of guys were quite wheel to wheel, but keeping it very clean still, all the same.
Yeah,
so that's really good to see.
Yeah, I had some defending to do from Pretorius, and I believe it was Icewind, if I remember correctly, in the feature race, which was pretty fun. But yeah, and after the pit, I was like, oh, I'm actually still ahead of them, even though they tried to undercut. And 2 laps into my medium or the yellow stint I had a tank slapper out of the final corner. I was like, I couldn't get rid of it from my head for the rest of the race. So I was just keep making mistakes every now and then, who cost me even more places. So it was a bit furious because I really wanted to defend it longer from Pretorius, but yeah, it didn't really happen.
Unfortunate for you today there, but yeah, no, it's overall, any kind of thoughts from the whole season, any highlights? It's certainly been quite interesting to watch and quite fun to commentate on.
Yeah, I mean, the highlight would have been, it has to be Italy for me, with the podium in the sprint race.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty easy choice for me to pick out the highlight of the season.
I think I remember that one quite well. It was quite the race as well. But yeah, that was good. It was great to see you on the podium in that one.
Yeah, hopefully I can make it one step further next season, both in F1 and F2.
Oh, we sure hope so. Your promise still stands, right?
Yep. Till the day I finish first, I will sing. So
Wonderful.
tune in for that and put the music high so you can still hear my voice.
I cannot wait. Okay, well, I will let you go back to the interview channel.
Yep.
Thanks a lot for speaking to us, and thanks very much for entertaining us throughout this whole season. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you next season.
Yep.
Yeah,
See you on
thank
the
you.
next game.
Okay, just got Scorto and Mepo to go. I think that's Mepo, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's pull Scorto in first, and then we'll
Alright.
speak to Mepo. Hello, Scorto. Welcome to the commentary booth. Tricky couple races there for you today. I think there's a lot of drivers actually struggling with this layout today. There's a lot of penalties coming in. I think the bits that were catching people out were on the cut through, so where the short track kind of joins the S's to the back straight. But yeah, a lot of people going.
I just hate the thing. I'm gonna be honest here. It's a horrible track layout, and I hope someone sets it on fire, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it was two pretty awful races for me personally. But I mean, as usual, I'm here as the manager of Campus Racing, and thus I'm very happy with our team result today. As I can once again prove that he is more than able to carry me.
Yeah.
But no, let's be honest here. It was a long season in F2. Not the last ray for maybe me and SLR that I wanted, but yeah, I mean, it was about what I expected from today's race. And overall, I'm quite happy with the performance in the season. I think I said it 2 weeks ago when I drove the last time. But after all, the field is mostly made up of tier 2, tier 3 drivers. So I'm sticking out like a sore thumb anyway. And considering that, I think there were like 2 or 3 moments where I kind of was able to survive and fight for myself, and that was all I could ask for in this season. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that, especially in a car like this that I'm still just so uncomfortable to drive. Didn't really get used to it over the season. I thought it would get better maybe, especially after I drove the last race in the first the season before this one, where everyone just DNF'd, and it looked like I mean, I thought, okay, if everyone is just this bad at driving the F2 car, then maybe I have a chance by abusing others failing in the F2 car, which didn't quite work out. But yeah, long season that I think worked out okay. I mean, as a team, we are very happy with what's happened. I think, I mean, Asaken, especially after last week, he was very happy about the results, which was quite understandable. After all, he's also punching up, and he hit quite hard, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of positive to be taken away though, even from this track. Despite you saying you disliked it, there was a moment where watching you towards the end, you were a lap down, admittedly, but you were keeping pace quite easily. It felt like with the two Dams boys.
I mean, it's always. I listened to the broadcast a bit, and I know that you don't mean it that way, but when I hit DNF'd, I think I was in the first race. I think I was like down 43 seconds behind the P10, and you were like, I mean, he drove a good race. I was like, what?
Did
you?
like,
No.
it's
The thing. All right, listen. I need to defend myself. All right. I was saying it was still very good that you kept it clean throughout the whole race because everybody was collecting time penalties. Some of the front guys were getting 21 seconds of penalties, and you were keeping it clean throughout all of the race. And then you get 3 seconds of penalties and immediate retire. That was. I want to hear the answer to that. What happened?
I hit the wall and got a red front wing, and I simply couldn't get to the pits because if I would have gotten to the pits, I would have needed to either change on the other super soft tire or the medium tire, which I both needed for the next race, so I could finish that one. So I just was like, okay, I mean, I guess I could drive to the pits, but I could also just DNF right here. Because there's not really a point to go on, especially because I was really tilted at that point because I was like, okay, the race was horrible as this, and then I can't even get to the end. My God, it's going terribly right now, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna retire this one now, keep the mental stable somewhat, and hope for a good start in the next race, which didn't happen. But it felt like the best move there.
It's
well, I'll take that as an answer.
Yeah, no, it's a tricky one, but no, it's still been great to watch you racing in the F2 season. It's it's been fun to watch.
I had my proud moment in Italy where I just turned into a human wall, I guess, and now I'm gonna retire from F2, watch the iCarly reboot, and
Wait,
try
there's
it
an Akali
yesterday.
reboot?
There is an Akali reboot.
No
which I
way!
just discovered today. Yeah.
Oh my god, I need to look that up.
All right, you guys have a nice evening.
You too.
And maybe we see each other on track tomorrow in the the 5-stepper thingy. Bye.
Yep, no worries. Thanks for joining us, and yeah,
Thank you.
we'll see you again soon.
Goodbye.
Okay, let's speak to Meppel then. Last but not least. Hello, Meppel. Welcome to the commentary channel. Yeah, a bit of a tricky feature race for you there, but a really strong sprint race there. Despite the penalties knocking you back into fourth, that was an on-track third position. So you've got to be proud of that one, surely.
Yes. The first race, was it a sprint race or I don't remember either way, the first race. And before the formation lap, I noticed that another tall guy had a desynced, and when the race started, he blamed me for crashing his race, even though he was in desynced. So
Yeah,
blaming
there's a bit of a weird thing going on. I think we'll probably have to review that. It looked like there was a bit of desync or some lagging or something funny going on. It was kind of tricky to see from a commentary point of view.
I have the proof. Yeah. Every time I was following Legend, he got a penalty, I got a penalty because the dirty air hit me so hard.
Yeah, we noticed that. That was actually quite a good fight though between the pair of you the whole time, and you both kept it really clean. There was a few times you were kind of back and forth and swapping positions the whole time.
It annoyed me that I had so much dirty air and got so many penalties.
Definitely good pace there though. To be fair, like say it's we've seen you in the earlier races, like say, and you certainly seem to have been improving the whole time in F2, which has been yeah, it's been good to watch. You and Joel, both of you, kind of came in fairly new to the F2 season, and yeah, just been improving steadily ever since.
Yes, thank you. I know I'm good. I think.
But yeah, are you gonna look at joining us then possibly in the next F2 season when it gets underway?
Yeah, I want a full-time seat. This is actually fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Fun to spin and yes. Nothing.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully see you then in the next season as well then. But yeah, no, it's a good evening of racing, and yeah, great to see you getting stuck in there, and yeah, some good pace. So yeah, certainly I think a good sort of practice run for you, as it were, this season. Get ready for next season, and we'll expect some great things from you, maybe.
Maybe not. Depends on my mood. I want to congratulate Brea, or how do you say his name?
Pretorius, yeah.
Yeah, okay. His name is now big. Yes, I will congratulate him. Very nice gameplay you got there.
Yeah, it was quite a dominant season from him today. So this season. So yeah, we'll see if he can continue that form in the next season.
I'm gonna beat him next season.
We're looking forward to that. All right.
Yeah, well, we'll hold you to that.
Yeah. I'm betting €2.
No worries. Well, I will let you head off then, and yeah, thanks for racing and providing us with some entertainment during the F2 season, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you racing next season.
Bye.
See you later.
Okay, I think that rounds out the interviews.
Yep. So that's it for the final race of final official race of the season. So
right. I think it's.
Where do you go?
Yeah, I think that'll be time for us to retire for the next few weeks. I'll be watching the iCarly reboot. I just learned that exists, and I'm sure we'll find something to keep busy during the break. But yeah, that was the last league race on F1 2020 for this season, or F1 2020 overall. Yeah, we're gonna be moving to the new game soon.
Looking forward to that. There's new damage models and stuff coming out in that game. So the game, I'm not sure what we'll be racing on, what kind of rules we're going to be racing on with that one, but I think it's getting released around is it the 16th of July? I think it is.
I honestly have no clue, but yeah,
I think it's somewhere around there. I think we're probably going to have a couple of weeks just without any racing once that game releases, just to get everybody or give everyone a chance to kind of get used to the game and get up to speed with the new handling model and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's going to be at least, I think I'm right in saying about a month and a bit's break before we get underway with any official races again. There are probably going to be a few little fun races in between. I suspect some of them might get streamed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we're going to enjoy a well-earned holiday, I think.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of action in these races. I think we deserve a break now.
It's always so busy and so hectic. But yeah, no, it's been great to watch, and yeah, just on a personal note, it's been great to commentate it with you, Eversnacks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Same to you. Same to you. It was very much fun. Very much fun.
Looking forward to next season now.
Absolutely. All right. I hope that everybody also joins us again for next season. It'll be a few weeks in between. We'll have to figure some things out for the new game. But yeah, as soon as we've got everything figured out, SLR will be back up and running. And until then, we're gonna have some fun events. So make sure to join those as well. I'm hearing there's gonna be a 5-lapper tournament soon. Tomorrow? Is it tomorrow?
I think it's tomorrow. I don't know if that'll be streamed or not, but yeah, if there's a commentary team available, then I'm sure that will be streamed on the channel. But yeah, we're waiting to see about that. I think there'll just be little ad hoc events here and there, and yeah, we'll see how we go.
All right, it was a lot of fun having you all, having you Boosted Mess, having all the drivers in the interviews, every single race. It was amazing to speak all those guys and figure out what they were feeling during their races and during the season as well, with that amazing championship battle throughout the whole season. Yeah, I think we couldn't have wished for a better season. The first season, the previous season we had was already a lot of fun, but I think some of the races were even better this season.
Yeah, lots of really close battles and lots of scary moments and close moments and exciting moments, and yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Right, I think that's the best note we could possibly close on. So thank you one more time for watching, and we'll see you in a few weeks. Thank you for watching.
See you next season.